What's up, everybody? It's Jason. Whoops. Thought I'd go live for a little bit. I woke up and went to my local, well, it's from Michigan, but local to me coffee shop here in Indiana, the town I live in, and it's called Big B. Big B Coffee. If you've never heard of it, actually, it's pretty good. This is they every day they do a different latte, different flavored latte, and I'm sure other places do stuff like this. I'm sure this is not unique to them, but it's cool because they do lots of different versions of lattes, and so they have their standard, I don't know, 4 to 6, 6 to 8 flavors, and then they always do a new one every day, and so it's really cool. This one's called the White Zebra or something, or Zebra Lightning or something. It's like basically using vanilla and chocolate and hazelnut and whatever. It's delicious. And I got this one for half off, so that's even better. It's always nice when you get a large latte or whatever and you're only paying half price. So, anyways, I was just gonna just go over some cards. I want to do some talking, just maybe show some cards as I talk. I've been, as most of you all know, I've been doing my collection. I haven't been doing it. That'd be weird. That's some like American Pie type stuff. I'm not doing it. I'm going through my collection, and I have been whittling it down over the days and weeks and months. And every Sunday, I always put up a new lot of items. And I used to, when I started doing this years ago, and it wasn't really ball cards, it was physical media and just like whatever else I've been collecting over the years or pick up that I think I could flip and make a couple schmeckles on. Uh, I would do like between 10 and 15 maybe lots on eBay. And over the last couple of months, especially the last 4 or 5 months, I've been ratcheting that up to the next level where I'm doing like usually 30 to 50 lots on their individual lots. And I've been going through my collection and really getting it down to just the stuff that I'm going to hold on to and keep, or things that I think will be worth money as the years tick by that my son can hold on to. And I know I just watched Garrett. I thought it was be a kind of cool video just to discuss what Garrett talked about Card Cutter. He said that I'm sure a lot of us have this experience or have heard this before, but I thought it was interesting, and I wanted to kind of just like uh, throw my hat into the ring when it comes to that. Is he had a video he did yesterday, I believe, or 2 days ago at this point, where he gets the call or gets somebody tells him, "Hey, I have a collection of really valuable memorabilia and cards that's going to send my kids to college, or it's going to be my retirement and all that." And then you realize that it's all usually junk. Like 99.9% of the time, it's junk, stuff. It's not what the person who doesn't know anything about it's worth. And so, of course, you have to take that time then to be like, do you tell them the truth? Do you just play into it? Like, okay, well, good luck to you on that. Or you're like, that card's worth $1 that you're thinking it's worth 100, and that card you think is worth 500 is worth $5, or that's it's all based on condition. And this is like, look, they got ran over by a semi truck. Whole clown shows stepped all over the top of the card, so now it's worthless. And so you have to be the bearer of bad news a lot of times when it comes to that. And no one knows everything, so don't get me wrong. Like I can know what I know, but then of course, Mangini or Mike Baseball Collector or Blue Jacket 66 Dave or whatever, they're gonna know. They forgot more than I would ever know. I mean, that's just the reality of it. So so you never know everything, but at the same time, you're pretty knowledgeable if you've done this hobby for any length of time, like most of us have. You're pretty knowledgeable to a certain degree. And so, with all that being said, I've been going through my collection and getting rid of the things that I think, one, will sell more more quickly than if I waited off and try to push this off for another couple months or a year or so. Things that are highly basketball have been pretty hot, and some footballs trying to pick up. So I'm selling off what basketball and football I have because I've been picking up. I used to pick up, a lot of lots on Facebook Marketplace. Or I'd go to a card shop and spend like $5 on a couple blasters here and there of like basketball that now would be $50 a blaster or whatever. Maybe not. I know the things have cooled down a bit from what I understand, but so I've been going through the collection, thinning it out. I mean, I used to have monster. I mean, you won't be able to see it, but I used to have monster boxes and just like blasters and hobby boxes like just all over my side of my room, like on one side of the room where I kind of keep my hobby stuff off to the side, and in my closets and in my garage and everything. And now it's down to just monster boxes that pretty much have the stuff that I want. And I do have probably another maybe monster box or two left of like just junk common cards that no one really wants, including myself, that I'm trying to just outline eventually just getting rid of. I'm going to go through it one more time, make sure I didn't miss anything. Excuse me. And then I'll just get rid of that in like a Facebook Marketplace, $25 monster box post that usually do pretty well for me. And so anyways, and then it's down to just inserts and just, actual items I've collected that might be worth something to somebody, and I'll be selling those. I remember Frank. I can't remember his channel's name, but I believe he is a tax, like a CPA, if I'm not mistaken. And he was saying that I think in 2022 the laws change where if you go over $600, you have to like claim it on your taxes or something. Whereas up until this year, that wasn't the case. You weren't going to get a 1099, I believe. So I do have a sense of urgency, if that's actually still correct and true. I'm sure there's ways around. I think he said you have to open up like your own business and get like an LLC or something to avoid those taxes to be on your actual income. But anyways, and that's neither here nor there at the moment. So I've been trying to whittle through my collection and trying to get out some of the maybe more big dollar items, but also the stuff that I know I'm not going to want in myself for a few dollars. And it's always amazing to me, things that sell on eBay. I'm sure if you do any kind of selling on eBay, you probably realize that sometimes things surprise you at what they go for. Like I've been selling like just random insert cards and, of nobody, like of nobody's, and I'll put them as a penny, free shipping. And sometimes those things go for $2, $3, $4. I think people just get like, it's like chum in the water with a bunch of sharks. It's a penny, so people automatically think it's a good deal, even though you wouldn't be that same card would sit in a box of cards and never get picked up, for 2 years. But because they initially see it's a penny or it goes to 6 cents or 12 cents or 18 cents or whatever, they're like, oh my gosh. And then they get in a bidding war over a penny card, which I think, for me is great because I'm only spending like 55 cents or whatever to send it. And I pulled out of a pack 8 years ago. Now I'm making $2 off the card. I love it. And if I'm just doing that with one card, it's no big deal, but I'm doing that with dozens and dozens of cards. So I'm making 20, 30 bucks off of a bunch of nickel cards, like literally nickel cards. I'm making 20, 30 bucks on sometimes, and it depends on how, and of course, if they're like more name stars, or if it's a numbered card and all that, of course, it's going to be more expensive. But we're talking about just some random gold card of like a Chris Carter or something. And the people are like, oh, I got to get that card. That's at least a $3 card. Yeah, sure it is. Go ahead and buy that card. So yeah, so it has been fun kind of experiencing that. And and like I said, I've been doing huge lots also, like in the big like 100 count boxes or 150 count boxes of just like of Hall of Famers that I'm no longer collecting. And that's a good way to get rid of my collection as well, because I'm selling them and they're going for anywhere between, sometimes there are 100 cards in the box, sometimes it's like 120 or 30 cards in the box. Sometimes it's less than that. It could be like 80 cards or 50 cards. But I've been selling those for between like $10 and $12 to $30-ish at some points. That's been awesome. So, and I had, like I said, I've been having those cards And I mean, I'm sure if they each person sold each individual card individually, of course, then they might make more money. But selling as a lot, it's helped me just get rid of it. And it's of players that I just I don't collect, or I just don't have any interest in. And they're like the low tier Hall of Famers. They're not the real big names per se. Or they're like the mid-level Hall of Famers from the '90s, like Biggio and Bagwell, Ivan Rodriguez, Mike Piazza, stuff like that. So those are they have, of course, a following and of interest, but they're not. It's not like I'm selling off, Jackie Robinson cards or whatever. Not that I have any, but it's not like it's like that level, of course. But so it's been good getting rid of those. Surprisingly, Mark McGuire and Jose Canseco still do really well. I sell a lot of their insert cards, and they do really well. Reggie Jackson does really well, surprisingly. Hey, what up, Don? Hey, the Murph. Cheers, brother. So Reggie Jackson does really well. Yogi Berra. I mean, I'm talking about just cards that are nothing special. I'm talking about cards that are literally nothing special. It's not like we're talking about just regular base cards. So some of these players do really well, and they're like low end, cards at the end of their careers, or like even a reproduction card as far as like a modern vintage. There you go, modern vintage. So those still do really well. So I've been selling a lot of that stuff, just trying to get rid of it, trying to, like I said, get the collection down to just the things I'm focused on. And of course, give myself some more space. I've always said my house is not very big. Donnie, you've been here, I think, so I don't have a huge house. So it's nice that I'm able to start making room for my collection that I actually care about, opposed to just collecting anything and everything. So yeah, so been doing a lot of that recently. Also wanted to talk about Chris, Modern Vintage Collector. As most of you all have known, or maybe know that are familiar with my channel, Chris is a military, what do you call it? He's a soldier in the military, in the Army. And he's been stationed in South Korea for over a year now. And his channel, he got rid of his channel about a year and a half ago or something. And I had told him and I had became good friends, really good friends. I probably talked to him more than almost anyone else in the community. So, and that's not just like hyperbole or whatever. The new hot word of the day seems to be, you hear that a lot more recently. But I talked to him quite a bit, I would say, because we could talk via, Facebook while he's in South Korea. But he's a soldier in the military, and he has about another year and change left on his tour, and then he'll be done. And he had an awesome channel, and he actually shut it down and deleted it a year and a half ago or whatever it was. And he had a lot of family, personal issues going on that he discussed on his own channel. And he also discussed a lot about just felt like he wasn't able to connect and wasn't getting the interest level that he thought. And this is something that I always like to tell people. And I tell people this. I've had quite a few YouTubers come to me over the years. And we all know, I'm not telling you the thing anybody doesn't know when I'm telling you this. By far, am I a channel that is a huge, big channel that people come to? Absolutely not. I know that. I have no ideas of grandeur about that. I have a very niche thing that I do. I'm very strong-willed and opinionated, and I'm a lightning rod for a lot of people. So could my channel be a lot bigger and a lot more flashier and a lot more traffic? Of course. If I wasn't such an a-hole, then that would be the case. But I had a lot of people come to me, and Chris being one of them, and say, what can I do differently to bring people to my channel? And I've always told people, you just do what you do. You do what you love to do. If you love to do what Alex Bowman 53 does, you love production, you love editing, you love just the production of the whole channel, then go with that. If you like the historical aspect, which is what Alex likes to do, but also Chris, Modern Vintage Collector, then focus on that. Do your passion. If you're a breaker, you do the breaks. If you're like me, you kind of do your Japanese guys, you do your 90s and 80s guys, you focus on that, and then just be who you are. Don't try to be somebody for other people, and people are going to come to you. And you may not have thousands and thousands of subscribers, but it's about you enjoying what you do, and other people will see that and will also be, inspired and want to watch your channel and will watch what you're talking about. And I love that. And I used to tell him that, and I think I think he sees the light now on the other end of the tunnel, on the other side of the tunnel. A year and a half, 2 years later. But I told so many people that, and most of them don't listen to me. I mean, honestly, a lot of people don't listen, and they get burned out because they're not getting what they think they should get out of their channel. They think they should get hundreds of subscribers just like this. They keep coming. They think they should get a ton of interaction. They think they should, have all this experience and all this like wonderful accolades, and people just falling all over themselves with like how great you and your channel are. And some people, hey, what up, Henry? Some people just don't respond to certain things. Like some people on YouTube only care about the hits, and they only go to breaker channels because they just want to care about the hits. They only care about modern day stuff. Some people want just, a guy in front of the camera and just talking about life and cards and just nonsense, and they come to my channel. Some people want the historical stuff, and they go to maybe Chris's channel, Motivation Clinton, or Bowman 53's channel. And you have other people you have like the Blue Jackets and the John Manginis, where the knowledge is just like unparalleled, and they have all kinds of knowledge and cards to share, and they have the big boy cards, and there's something out there for everybody. But the one thing that I have to say is you have to stick with what you know, stay inside your lane, and just do what you do. Don't care what other people are doing. And I think that's the biggest thing that we sometimes still fall into. Even I might be I'm sure I'm preaching to the choir, a lot of times, but so many people are so worried about what the other person's doing, like the other channel's doing. And I don't personally never understood that mindset. Like, I'm doing what I'm doing. And if people like what I'm doing, great, and if people don't like what I'm doing, that's fine too. I don't care. I don't change who I am or my channel, my personality, or what I say or how I approach anything based on what other people think I should do or not do. I could care less what other people think I should do or not do. And that's who I am. And I think that's why I have so many different people who are drawn to my channel, because I just don't care. Like, I am who I am, and that's fine. And I'll buy the dollar Coochie card, my dollar Coochie cards, as well as my Don Mattingly's, or I'll talk about, politics or religion or whatever. And then I'll show a Kojima card. You just never know. You just never know what's going to happen. And that's fine with me. But so many people are trying to be like, what will get butts in the seats? What will get people to pay attention to my channel? Like, what do I need to do? Well, I would tell that person what you need to do is just do you. You need to do what makes you happy, because you're going to get burned out if you don't do that. You're going to get burned out, and I've happened to me multiple times. Sometimes I get burned out on the hobby. Sometimes I get burned out on the politics of the sport. Sometimes I get burned out in the community, and it's a whole thing. And so you just have to. That's going to happen no matter if you're doing what you love to do or you don't. But it's definitely going to be worse or more taxing on your I guess self or well-being is if you're doing something for other people and you're getting burned out of it, and you're not doing something that you actually have passion for and love. So it happens definitely for sure. Yeah, I saw that video he did, Henry, where he said tell everybody how much money do you spend on your cards? $3 per card or something. So that's the strategy. Now I don't have to worry about that because I don't have a wife, so I don't have to worry. I can spend $3 or $300, which I would never spend $300 probably ever on a card. But I definitely understand. But so many people get caught up in the likes, the views, the subscribers, and all that. And I mean, like I said, I'm not going to name names, but I'll talk about, because Chris brought it up himself. So I feel like it's fair to talk about that, because his channel, and he told me a year and a half, 2 years ago, that he's going to delete his channel. I'm like, dude, whatever you do, you can put your channel on like private or delete it off the, as far as access to it or whatever, but don't delete your videos, because you're going to regret that. Don't delete your videos. Keep your videos. You can put it to private or whatever. Just don't delete it. And then what did he do? He deleted it. And now here we are, fast forward a year and a half later, and he's like, I regret my decision. I should never have done that. Because especially somebody like him who spent so much time and effort into creating the content of his channel. If you're like me and you're just like showing cards, like stuff you got at a flea market or at like a card show, then yeah, I mean, like I can kind of understand, like, okay, like I'm not really providing much information to the community. It's just me showing cards, and maybe some people might find it interesting, and some people don't. But when you're doing what like Chris was doing, is like having like production value, editing. He's like doing like literally scripts, writing out the presentation of his channel with the information he's providing with like historical, actual, factual information, and then just deleting it all. That's just like, to me, it's like so like heart wrenching. I'm like, dude, do not do that. And then he did it, and now he's like, man, dude, I should have done that. And I'm like, yeah, exactly, you should have not done that. So now you have to go back and maybe redo it or revisit it, or maybe not do it again. And I don't know, but hey, what up, Matt? Good morning, brother. Yeah. I mean, Henry, you've been around a while. 600 subs. I mean, I was getting close to 600. 6 months ago. Then I went on my torching the earth of videos, and of course I lost a lot of people that way, which I don't give a crap. That's fine. Like I knew that was gonna happen before I did the video. Like I knew that was gonna happen. People would get all butthurt and go cry, and they're gonna have their safe corners and their safety areas, and all that stuff. So I mean, I get all that. Like I don't care. Raise up. Woo woo. Do I have any raised cards in front of me? Oh, actually, I do have a race card right here. I know this guy isn't there anymore, but Yoshi Susugo. I think he is. I don't know, probably playing in like Mexico League or something at this point. I'm sure he was like a nobody. But anyways, but I mean, some people just get so caught up in all that, and I don't know how many times I've said this on my channel, and I will continue to say, just do you. Just do what makes you happy. You're going to get burned out. It's inevitable. People get burned out. Even the guys that are like the big wigs, the movers and the shakers, the pillars of the community, they even will go on their channel on a quasi-annual basis and say, I'm just getting burned out. I'm just feeling burned out right now. And it's either something has happened with the hobby or their own personal life or with the channel itself. And people it's inevitable. When you do something for so long, you're going to hit a wall. It's going to happen. Like, it's not something that you can honestly avoid, quite frankly. But what you shouldn't do is delete your channel or delete all the videos off your channel to where you will never get them back again. That's something you should never do, because unless it's something you've done that's illegal or immoral, then I guess maybe you don't want any video evidence of it. But if it's just because you're just kind of like, I'm over this, I don't think you should probably do that, honestly, because you're going to regret it. And so I'm just saying this to like people that might be out there floating around in the interwebs. If you get burned out, take a break. If you're not getting the kind of the traffic, it's going to come, or it's not going to come. Are you doing it for them, or are you doing it for yourself? Like when I first got on here in 2017, I guarantee you I had no idea what I was doing. And you can go back and watch my first videos, and I don't even know what I was doing. And I probably still don't know what I'm doing, quite frankly, but I feel like I got a little bit better handle on it now. I didn't understand there was a community of people that are like actively participating in the thing called YouTube, that were like wanting to have a relationship, I guess, or an interaction, of friendship, a coming together of like minds. I didn't get it. So when I started getting people to say they want to send me stuff in the mail, I'm like, what? I'm not giving you my address. I have no idea who you are. You could be some like serial killer. I'm not giving you my address. And it didn't like strike me as a thing. And then, you start to meet people like Henry and Matt and Donnie. I mean, I've had Donnie in my actual house. So if Donnie's a serial killer, I must have survived, because, I woke up. But I mean, Matt and Henry and everybody. I mean, there's so many great people in this community. I got care packages from all these guys in here. And that's the thing. But I mean, like, you have to do it for the right reasons. And you have to also do it that makes you happy. And people are going to come to you, to your channel, based off of that, of your love and passion. and not because of some of the times the stuff you show on your channel. Yeah, I caught a break. Oh, thank God. I know. You know those guys from Tennessee, they can't be trusted. Yeah, I'm more of like a cereal, like Frosted Flakes killer. There you go. That's great. But the thing about it is that so many people get caught up in the numbers game, and I guess to an extent, no matter how old we get, how much are we removed from like middle school and high school? You want to be in the popular group. You want to be considered cool. You want to be considered like relevant, or you want people to think you're cool, your channel's cool, whatever. And you never really outgrow that, I guess, which is I guess really a sad state of affairs, to be honest, that you're so worried about what other people think, and that and I know people will say, well, you don't want to just do this for nobody. You don't want to put all this effort into it, and then nobody watches. Well, then what are you doing then? Like, then why do you care? I mean, the thing is, if you are that concerned about it, then you got to do more effort of going and reaching other people at their channels, reaching out to them, right? Talking to those people, getting on their channels, interacting with them. If you're just doing your channel only, and then you're not communicating with other people, they don't even know you're here. That's the thing. You got to build those. You got to build those relationships. You got to build some rapport with other people, other channels, so you have that interaction. But you can't just be on an island onto yourself and then go, why is nobody over here? And the number one biggest reason people complain, and the number one reason why people don't know who you are, or you don't have the interaction that you think you should get, or you think you deserve, is because you are not communicating and participating in the community with other channels. End of story. The number one factor in why my channel is not growing is because you don't care about other people's channels. You just care about your own channel, and people will pick up on that eventually. And that is the reason why. The number one factor, if you take everything out of the equation and you boil it down to the number one thing, if you do not communicate and interact with the community, and we're talking about like an actual real effort, not just like show up once every week or two and put one comment on one video, but build a rapport, then you're of course not going to end up getting people that know who you are and come check out your channel. Because I used to have that a whole lot. I used to have people be like, hey man, great video. Did they watch the whole video? Maybe. More than likely, probably not. And then they were like, hey man, great video. Check out my channel. And I would inevitably go check out the channel, and I'm like, it's not for me. And that person would never comment again. So it's like a one for one. I'll sub you, you sub me. I don't play that game. But if you actually have a connection with people on their channel, then you need to go put forth the effort. But so many people is like, I don't understand why no one's watching my channel. I'm like, well, are you going to other people's channel and watching their stuff? Well, no. Are you interacting with them in the comment section? Well, no. Well, no, of course not. Why would anybody spend the time if you're not giving them any interest either? I mean, it's kind of like, just obvious, but a lot of people don't get that. So, Frosted Flakes killer, yeah. Yeah, exactly. Frosted Flakes, FFK, baby. FFK all day. So, I mean, so yeah, I mean, guys, who cares, first of all? I'm definitely not the guy who cares, as everyone who knows my channel knows. So, but the other thing is that if you have a channel and you have videos and that you're not feeling like you're getting the interaction or the accolades or the, interest that you believe you deserve, do not delete your channel and delete all the videos off of it. Either take a break, reassess, come back and maybe, do something different, or interact with the community to a higher level. Because honestly, when I was first starting to do it, I didn't understand how it worked. Like, I didn't go to other people's channel. Like, I would watch people's videos, but I never really interacted with them. I never really commented. I didn't know that was really a thing. I didn't really interact with people in my comment section because I just didn't know. Like, Mangini's a good example of that. Like 2 years ago, he was talking about how, he would just do his videos. He didn't understand why he only had like 20 views or 40 views and like one comment. And, he didn't understand because he wasn't interacting with anybody. He would just do these quick videos, show cards real fast, and then he'd be off. And then all of a sudden, I don't know if it was like Dave or Mike or somebody said, hey, dude, slow down, show your cards, talk about them, and interact with people. And it would completely unlock the magic of Mangini. And now he's like one of the best channels, if not the best channel out there doing what he does. So, I mean, it can be done. Let me turn this down a bit. It was getting Petra's getting a little too out of control. But I mean, it can be done, but you got to put forth the effort. And even somebody like Mangini, who has like an amazing collection, his channel was like not even anything really for the longest time because he didn't interact with people. And once he started interacting with people, slowing down, showing the cards, spending the time on other people's channels, making a little comment, it completely was a different experience. I mean, I love John's channel now. I mean, I truly love his channel so much. I mean, he's one of the few guys who just keeps doing his thing. He doesn't care what other people are doing. I mean, he just does his thing, and I just love it. I think it's so great. I really enjoy John's channel so much. He is definitely the kind of guy I would love to sit down with. I don't say that too often about quite a few people, but he was one of those guys I would love to sit down, have a coffee with, have a brewski with, preferably pumpkin spice with my Uggs on, and just talk just anything, life, politics, baseball cards, sports cards, Pittsburgh, just anything. Just because he's just one of those guys that's out there that you just know he's a genuine dude, and I just like that I just love that about people, that you just know they're genuine dudes. They're dudes and they're genuine. It's a crazy concept, for sure. But I want to let people know that Chris is back, modern vintage collector. If you go back and watch his archives, he has 4 videos right now. I highly, highly recommend, if you are a channel or if you are a collector who loves history of the game, who likes the more the more detailed aspects of being in the hobby of either cards or players or even the photographs. That's the picture behind the photograph. He does that. He's going to do historical in this day in history or this week in history. And they're just a couple minute videos. I mean, but guys, I would highly recommend, if you can go check out Chris's channel, Modern Vintage Collector. He's back. He's back in black. And watch his channel, get him up and running again. Comment on his videos. I've already talked to Chris a little bit about man, you got to do it. If you want different results, you got to do different things. You can't keep going. If you want different results, do the exact same thing you did before. Well, then the outcome's going to be the same. You've got to interact with people. You've got to make sure you're commenting back and forth with them. Build that rapport, because that's what's going to help your channel grow. If you're not doing that, then you're going to be back to the same spot. And I'm not saying he was complaining recently about the growth of his channel or their lack of. I'm just saying, people who feel that way, you got to put forth the effort. And again, I comment on everybody's comment on my channel, even the ones that are pissing and moaning about me saying something about politics or whatever. I'm always just I'll interact with them to a certain degree. I'm not in there to argue with them per se. I'm just, because my views are on the video, so nothing's going to change that. But even those people, I'll put something just to, antagonize them or laugh at them or whatever. But I comment on everything, every single video. And I'm not commenting as much on other people's videos as I used to, but I'm still watching a lot. But I'm always interacting with people on my channel, and I can tell you that much. And I never will stop doing that. So I will always keep in touch with people via my channel, build that rapport. And then there's a handful of people out there that I still watch religiously. I just don't comment enough. I don't. Brent, Near Mint Music, he's one of those guys I really love. His channel, he's just a moment. He's like Alex and Chris and guys who just really love the hobby and love players, and he likes the old stuff, the vintage, the oldie time cards. Yes, I mean those kind of guys I really enjoy. I've kind of moved away. Yesterday, guys, I'll tell you this. I went to the local Piggly Wiggly. I went to go look, and they have baseball cards. Supposedly Saturdays, at least in this area, are the days that the stores get their cards, or they put them out on the shelves or whatever. So I happened to be in Anderson for something else, and I'm like, I'm gonna go down to the local Piggly Wiggly and see if they have any new cards, new cards on the shelf. And I went and checked it out, and there might have been a bunch of stuff there before I got there, because I didn't get there. They apparently unleashed the dragon around 6 a.m. in the morning or something. I'm not for sure, but That's what I've heard because I've never done that, but that's the rumor around the campfire. But I got there like between 8:30 and 9 o'clock, and they had, and the thing is, I've already kind of lost the interest. Like I bought it for my son. Like the last two times I went specifically for cards, I was able to find stuff, and I sold a couple NBA blaster box, NBA hoops or Panini something or another blaster boxes. I got them for like 30 a piece, and I sold it for like 100. So I made $40 off the cards off eBay last week. So that was a nice bump in my amount of money. So I spent $200 on baseball cards or sports cards. I actually ended up spending like only like really $40-ish, $60 for like 5 or 6 boxes of cards. So I'll take that. It's $10 a box basically because I got the $40 extra that I didn't get. I paid the 2 boxes I bought that were basketball. I got my money back for that. Plus I got $40, so I got like $100 off of a $60 price tag. And so yeah, so that's not too shabby. But I went yesterday, and I was like, yeah, maybe if something catches my eye, I'll pick it up. And they had Stadium Club and they had Allen and Ginter. That was all they had. They had probably about 5 to 8 blasters of each product. They had football, had a little bit of hockey. That was it. But there was stuff on the shelf. I mean, so the I guess the ship sailed to a certain degree. Now I'm sure there was like Chrome that was there, that was gone. All the basketball was gone. So that day I was there, I just got lucky to find some Chrome and basketball a week or two ago when I went to look the last time. So if that was there yesterday, I was gone by the time I got to it. But there were still cards there. So people who are like complaining like there ain't no cards left, well, they're there now. At least the places I've been. I haven't been to the local Walmart or Target. I don't shop at Target, so I don't know. But I haven't been to Walmart because I don't want to go to Walmart unless I absolutely like. If I lost a bet, then I'd probably go to Walmart. There's like no way I would go to Walmart, especially during the morning or the evening when there's like a bajillion people there. Well, maybe like crack of dawn Walmart's okay. Like literally, they open the doors and you can walk in. That's probably fine. But yeah, if you're like in there mid afternoon through night, there is no way. There is no way. So that's a hard pass for me, dude. Hey man, got here just in time for the Piggly Wiggly portion of the. Yeah, what up, Joe? Hey everyone, have a great day, Fox Crew. Hey, all right, man. Peace, dude. Love you, brother. You have a good church service. Pray for the sins of the card community. So, but yeah, man, it was so those cards to be found out there. But the thing is, I just passed up on. I just was like, you know what, deuces on that. I didn't pick anything up. And I'm not saying I won't go back and pick some stuff up. I mean, maybe, but I just was like, meh. So how many things for the background static? Background static. Oh, you're welcome, dude. You're welcome. I aim to please, my brother. I appreciate it. Thanks again, man. Thanks for hanging out. You and I need to go live sometime, Matt. We need to do that. Seriously, I'm not even kidding you. We gotta go live sometime. I don't think we've ever done that before, so I would love to get you on. So, but yeah, I just kind of passed up on it. I wasn't feeling it. I just kind of, like I said, I mean, yeah, I picked up Ginter 2 weeks ago, and I love Allen and Ginter cards. I've always loved Allen and Ginter. I love Gypsy Queen cards. But when they raised all the prices on the baseball now, or on all the wax. So when it used to be like $20, now it's like 25 or 26 or something. And the basketball is, like I said, 30 a pop or whatever. And I don't know. To me, the value in the blaster boxes at $20, it feels like you get your value back, right? But once you start hitting 25 and 30 and 35 and all that stuff, for just your regular run-of-the-mill blaster box, that's 7 packs, 8 packs, sometimes less than 7, like 6 packs plus a bonus pack or whatever. You have to hit at least one really good card, which is kind of sad that you have 50, 60, 70 cards when it's all said and done, and you don't hit a card that even equals the value of one blaster. It's like, is it worth it? And the answer is, to me, no, it's not worth it. So, if all the boxes were like $20 a pop, then I'd probably pick up one or two just to have fun with. But when you're talking about $25, $30 a pop, and I'm getting like one card that's maybe $10, then I'm like, wow, the math just doesn't work out. I'm not doing this for money, but also you don't want to get ripped off. I mean, you don't want to know who wants to do that. That's like spending $1 in a game, like spending $1 in an arcade, and you get killed in the first 5 seconds of the game, and then it's over. Like, you didn't get your money's worth. Yeah, you're guaranteed to play. You did play, but you played for 5 seconds and was killed, and now you have to put another dollar in to continue to play. Like, who wants to do that? Why spend $25, $30 if you're going to get a $10 card or a $5 card or whatever? I mean, I'm not going prospecting with, most products unless it's Topps Chrome or Bowman. That's it. Most, or maybe, and then I guess Topps to a certain degree too with the rookie cards. But almost anything else, all the Allen Ginters and the Stadium Clubs and the Gypsy Queens and all that stuff, like, no one's really using those products to be like, or archives. I'm using this to prospect some of these big rookies. Because those cards, you might pull a rookie card here and there, they're not going to have the same value as if you're pulling like something from a Chrome or a Bowman or whatnot. So I don't know. It's just hard for me to justify spending $30-something per box or $25 and then pulling a $5 card and be like, or $10 card and be like, that's when buyer's remorse starts sitting in, right? So, excuse me, I think I'm going to sneeze. Maybe not. Maybe. No, maybe not. Okay, no, I guess I'm not. I don't know. I thought I was going to sneeze. I was trying to prepare myself. I put my eyes wired up, and it wasn't because my prom date left me at the house with my corsage. It was like I thought I was really going to cry. But anyways, so here, let me see something real quick. Give me 1 second, guys. Bear with me for 1 second. All right. All right. All right, there you go. So I posted we're getting like between 4 to 6, up to 8, 9 people in here. So I went ahead and put the link in. If anybody wants to pop on with me, go ahead and click on the link and you can hop in here and we'll just talk. I'm surprised. I even surprise myself sometimes. I'll get on with like literally nothing to discuss, and then I'll end up talking for going on now 45 minutes. But that's just because I can talk about nonsense, and like Matt said, I'll just be like noise in the background for people. Excuse me. Let me clear my throat. So, but yeah. So, anyways, guys, that's kind of like what I was thinking. But definitely check out Chris's channel, Modern Vintage Collector. He's definitely a stand-up fella that, in my personal opinion, doesn't get didn't in the original incarnation of his channel enough props for what he was doing. But I think channels like Chris's, like Bowman 53s, like Near Muse and Brent's, excuse me, let me try to. Those guys' channels they are not, unfortunately, considered the flashy channels because they're talking about history of the game. They're talking about the nuances of cards or games or stories or whatnot. And it's not, they're not showing like necessarily high dollar cards. They're not showing $100 cards, $500 cards, comma cards, coffin cards, all the hot words of the day, the hot vernacular of the day that people like to use a lot. And their channels sometimes take a while to grow, or they never get the full recognition they deserve. And it's really a shame because so many of them have so much to offer, and quite frankly are better than most channels that are out there. And I would say that against anybody's channel, of course, including my own. That goes without saying. My channel sucks. But there's so many people that out there who get way more like accolades than those guys do. And I mean, they're offering a whole lot more than most people do because They take the time to really research the topic, the card, the story, whatever they're doing, and they'll get like 80 views or 20 views or 5 views or 60 views, like 7 comments, and you see another guy who like showing like Chrome 2021 product, and that has 2,000 views and 50, 80, 90 comments, and it's just like that nothing happened in that video. Literally nothing happened in that video. They pulled a Mike Trout Chrome card, and that was like, woo. And those channels are the ones that people gravitate towards because of the possibility of seeing something cool. When even then, even if you see something cool, most of the time people just don't even know what they're talking about, or they just talk about, oh, it's a Mike Trout, or oh, this is some random rookie card autograph of some player that no one knows about. Okay, but then you could be talking about like Brent's channel, you could be talking about Harmon Killebrew, or Bowman 53's channel, almost anything that he's talking about. And it's just and then Chris's channel recently coming back, and he did a video of the Ty Cobb picture and one of, can't think of the other one. I can't remember who the other one was. Ty Cobb, and then I can't remember. But man, I'm telling you, watch those videos. I mean, they're not super long videos. I highly recommend you checking them out. My coffin cars are Astros that goes. That's right, Henry. Yeah, that's where people's career goes to die whenever the Astros cheat their way into the playoffs or whatnot. So yeah, I don't know. I don't even know if the Astros are any good this year. I have no idea. I would assume the last thing I think I heard, they were actually had a pretty good season, but I could be wrong. I just know that I was talking to somebody recently, and they said that the Reds are doing pretty good. And I guess I don't really keep up with it religiously, but the Reds are like right on the border of being in a wild card race. Excuse me. So I don't know how many more. I mean, we only got a couple more weeks of games, so I guess everybody needs to make sure they buckle up, Buckaroos, because it's going to be a thing here coming soon that you really need to pull the trigger and get it in, because it's going to be playoffs are coming up before you know it, for sure. What's happening right now here? So coffee's good, man. No, coffee is good. Uh-oh. I remember this song. Oh, man. All right, guys. So I think I'm going to hop off. Dude, I appreciate everybody hanging on. I've been doing it for almost an hour. It was just, like I said, completely impromptu. Had no real purpose or meaning behind it. Just thought I'd get on there and goof off a bit. Glad everybody hopped on. We'll do it again sometime. Maybe I'll do it this afternoon. Tomorrow is the holiday, so I might have time to do it this evening, and we'll try to do it all over again. So, again, thanks for watching. We'll do it if you're lucky, but not in the bedroom. Don't get that excited.